Hey, hi, everybody. My name is Zeb Wellborn with the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce. Today, I'm talking with Scott Ashton from the Oceanside Chamber of Commerce. He and I had a chat a few weeks ago about a cool new program that he's doing around workforce development with a team of other chambers. And so Scott, that's what I plan on interviewing today. Would you give a brief introduction of yourself and talk about your chamber?
Sure, absolutely. So I have I've been with the Oceanside Chamber since 1996. Moved here from the East Coast. Had about 5 or 6 years of chamber experience prior to that in Massachusetts, where I was born and raised. So I worked for a couple chambers there, and then relocated here in '96. Did business development for the Oceanside Chamber for about 20 years, and then in 2016, our CEO retired, and I applied for the position. I let the board know how much I wanted to work for them, and they fortunately decided to hire internally. And I've been in that position for almost 6 years now as CEO. Our chamber just celebrated its 125th anniversary last year, so we've been
Cool.
around. I do like to tell everybody that we're Oceanside's oldest business, and no one has proven me wrong yet.
Uh,
And like many other chambers, one of the key areas of revenue for us are membership and events help out with that. Although, with COVID, that really forced us to look into other revenue streams. And what we're going to talk about today, workforce development, is turning out to be a great opportunity for us.
And that's exactly what I'd love to chat with you about today. Through our chamber, we've been working on a lot of workforce development initiatives. So it came across something that you guys were doing down in the southern part of California, and it seemed really cool. So I wanted to interview you and just kind of share the message about what you're doing in Oceanside. So can you talk about it? It's called SoCal. Am I getting that right?
You got it right.
Yeah. And,
And
and what does it stand for?
student opportunities for career awareness and learning. Um, and I'll share with you. Can I give a little bit of background as to how we got there?
Absolutely.
So we knew for a while that we needed to be engaged in the workforce development space, but really weren't sure how to get started. Going back a few years ago, but as you know, I attend a lot of the same conferences that you do with WACE and ACCE. So you get to see you know, what's gaining traction with the chambers, and workforce development is certainly one of the main areas, if not the main area. So we decided a few years ago that, hey, we need to somehow engage in workforce development. And we started to look at doing career awareness opportunities and tours with students. We have a Gear Up program with our local community college that partners with our high school, and they had a cohort of young students that they were looking to broaden their awareness on the career opportunities in their own backyard. So we had been working on that 2019, and had our kind of our launch meeting in March of 2020, and we all know what happened right then. And
Yeah.
so that went off of our plate, obviously, at that time for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is that our business community needed us to engage with them in a variety of other ways. So, but as we get further along in 2020, we decided to revisit this and talk about how we could um, take this concept and do it in a video format where we would bring those career opportunities into the classroom rather than bringing the students out to the businesses. So we the chair of my workforce development task force works in the external affairs department at our local hospital. So she and I had been talking about how to do this. We brought in our local school district. We had some Zoom meetings because everything was still on Zoom at that time, and started talking with our school district about what this could look like. And they were very much on board. We were working with the career technical education teams at the school district, and Oceanside is covered by several school districts. So we were talking with our primary our Oceanside Unified School District, and I just started to think that, well, this doesn't make sense for us to just do this alone with the Oceanside School District. So we went and had a conversation with our neighboring chambers in Carlsbad and Vista, which are the two closest geographical chambers geographically to us, and also in collaboration. And we had that conversation with them. They love the idea. They have good relationships with their school districts, so they brought their school districts on board. We all got together, had a meeting, and talked about what this could look like. And our hospital had already been doing career awareness through a program called SoCal, so Student Opportunities for Career Awareness and Learning. So they had been doing on-site prior to COVID, on-site career awareness opportunities for the students, and they decided, hey, let's all work on this together. We'll loan our branding to the project, and we brought in our local EDC and created this great program, which I will go into. I want to stop there in case you have any questions on the background before I launch into what SoCal is all about.
Yeah, no, it's great, and I do want to touch on your partnership with the school district. Not every chamber has close relationships with their school district. So, like, how did that? How did you guys get together with your school districts to help make this happen?
Yeah, so part of it is just nurturing relationships over the years. So like on our board of directors, we have several advisory positions, non-voting members. So, and on that is our school superintendent is an advisory member on the chamber board. So we've had a good relationship. We haven't always known exactly how we can support each other and work together, and that's just really developed over the last couple of years through SoCal and also through Rising Star Student of the Month program that we also recently developed, and I'll touch on that later if we have time.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about that SoCal initiative. So what exactly is it? How does it work? And how do the other chambers and you put that together?
Yeah, so we started meeting on this in early 2021 and started to shape what we wanted to bring together. And it was to create a web portal where students could explore career opportunities in their own backyard. So we see, so many of our students leave the area. We want them to come back. Even if they leave to go to college somewhere else, we want them to know that they have opportunities here. And our businesses, of course, need help in developing their workforce pipeline. And there just was an obvious disconnect between what's needed in the business community and what our students were actually aware of. All the kids know what their parents do. They know about the hero jobs and so on, but do they know about the advanced manufacturing opportunities and the biotech and the opportunities to work in the restaurant industry and so on? So we wanted to bring that to their attention. So we started with a pilot program in 2021. It was the three chambers that I mentioned, our Economic Development Council, and our hospital. And we together applied for grant funding from our county. That grant funding was to pay for a website, the SoCalWorkforce.org, and to pay for the first round of videos to be created on there. And then each chamber worked with some of the most responsive businesses in our own community, the ones that we know would help us out with this. And we went to them and said, hey, we have this opportunity, videography, everything's paid for. Do you have three people that you can put in front of the camera that can describe what their everyday job looks like, the opportunities within that job, what they do on a day-to-day basis, the educational paths that they took to get there. And so from there, we developed a series of about 3-minute videos. In Oceanside, we had one of our advanced manufacturing companies, a food manufacturer, and a biotech company. And the other chambers, had their businesses come to the table. And we launched it in December of 2011 at the Economic Development Council's big annual luncheon. And we had our county supervisor who provided this funding there, and we were able to publicly praise him and thank him for the support that he gave the project. And so right now, so I think we launched with somewhere between 50 and 60 videos, and we're up to right now. I think almost 80 different career paths are covered on the SoCal Workforce website, and that's everything from nursing to chefs, electricians, fire inspectors, machinists, police officers, shipping and receiving, all different types of opportunities, job opportunities.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I've taken a look at it, and it does look really cool. The videos that are on there are really well done, and it does highlight those career pathways in a very succinct way. So talk to me about. So you got funding from the county. How did that? How did you secure that? Who did that come from? How did that work out?
Yeah, so the lead on that was our Economic Development Council, which we partner really closely with them. Treat them just like one of our chamber friends, and we involve them in everything. And so they're amazing partners. So we all agreed that they would do the funding request, and then they would they would manage that and share out the funds with the chambers, so we could get the video production done. They paid for the website development through those funds as well. It was about $130,000 grant.
So it has all of these pathways. How is the usage of it? So now that it's up and running, like how much usage is it getting? How many people are checking it out? How many people are finding new careers because of the work that you guys have put into place?
It's early as far as like tracking who's finding careers through this, but we've been tracking the metrics and so on, and doing a lot to promote it. So the career technical education teams at the schools are really on board and building it into curriculum. And it was focused on high school, but in my interactions with the school district and some of the it's trickling down to the elementary schools and so on, which is great. But we also found another use to it too. We're right next to a military base, and about 30% of the people that exit the military while living in San Diego County stay in this area. So it's really important to get those career opportunities out to them as well. So we've shared this with we have a regional veterans association right here in Oceanside. So we've shared this with them. But the schools have been supportive. We've been invited to do parent meetings where we could share this resource with parents as well, because the parents are very influential on their kids' career paths and helping them navigate what's available. So we've been sharing it out there and getting it out to other schools outside of our immediate region. I should say that we started this with 3 chambers, and now there's 6 chambers involved, and our EDC. So it's getting into additional school districts through those chambers.
And then I know you're working with these businesses, and I know that you've developed a way to get funding from the businesses to support in this effort. So talk to me a little bit about how businesses are getting involved in the work that you're doing.
Yeah, and it's not only businesses. So the first packages that we sold were to departments in our municipal government here in Oceanside. So our water utilities department, when they saw this, they were super eager to get involved, and so they did a couple packages that included a total of 6 videos to highlight different opportunities that were available in the water utilities department. Our fire department soon followed. Our police department actually just did a series of videos. So that's where a lot of our success has been so far. And I know some of the other chambers, have gotten. I think there's biotech company and medical clinic. So there's a great diversity of organizations that are participating in this. And we recently got another grant here in Oceanside from our city government to do some videos for small businesses that maybe the packages are not in their budget, and maybe they don't need a 3 video package, maybe they just need 1. So we get some funding that is going to allow us to do videos for 15 businesses, or 15 videos total. for our smaller businesses in Oceanside. So with that, so far, we did a chef at a local restaurant. We did a guy that is a chamber member that has an EMT training business, and he trains people that ultimately work for our fire department, which is great synergy there. And then one of our smaller local manufacturers that manufactures boilers. With those funds, we're able to bring in some of the smaller businesses that might not otherwise participate.
That's cool. And then I know that you started with 3 chambers and you've expanded to 6. Talk to me a little bit about like the geographical region, because the whole concept is you're getting people that grow up there or they get educated there to work there, and we're doing the same things with the Chino Valley, or trying to do the same thing with the Chino Valley Chamber. So talk to me a little bit about how that looks for like somebody who grows up looking to live, work, and play there. How does your tool help them to do that, and how big is that geographical region that you're looking at?
Yeah, the geographical region is not huge at this point. It's basically 6 cities that are already working together. There's a we're right on 5 of the cities are right along Highway 78 in North San Diego County, and there's already been a collaboration in place for years called Innovate 78. So these cities and chambers are accustomed to working together. So it was very natural for us to do this together. But we are trying to expand this geographically and throughout San Diego County, and potentially even through other areas of Southern California. I mean, my vision would be that the website could eventually have regional sections to it, where other parts of Southern California have their own footprint on the site.
How do the businesses, like, what's their reaction? What is the business's reaction to the video or the work that you're doing, and what is the kind of feedback you've got from a business side of things?
The feedback has been really positive, and I haven't heard this firsthand, but what I've heard from our workforce development coordinator is the feedback that she's getting is some of the businesses are using the videos in their onboarding for new employees. So that was really cool to hear.
Yeah.
And we've used it to it's been kind of an entry point to doing other work with the participating businesses, and we see potentially there could be internships coming out of this. So it's a great relationship builder for us, and our building our workforce development footprint in the community.
And then let me make sure that I got everything right. So I want to talk about it from the funding perspective. So
Yeah,
So originally we got funding from the county to help build the website, help create videos.
yeah,
You've taken it to the city. The city's helped support by supporting their small businesses by giving a grant to allow you to do some of the videos for some struggling small businesses. And then you've solicited the business community who are interested in putting up. It's essentially like a job job posting, right up on your website too, with video content and high quality videos. Is that accurate?
yeah. So for we've built out the packages to help businesses in a couple different ways to help with immediate needs. The packages include work that we can do in sharing out their job postings with social media and on our website and everything. But for the long term, it's helping build a pipeline of local students that are aware of their business and aware of the career opportunities within their business.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're doing that sounds like phenomenal work. And like I said, I looked at it, and I know that you mentioned kind of expanding it out to other areas. What do you envision when it comes to that?
We haven't dug into that yet. As we have a steering committee which is made up of the original chambers and our hospital and so on. So and we meet regularly, and right now we're just talking about how are we refining the website, and what are we doing to get more businesses participating. But there is a vision that ultimately we would find some way to package this and bring other regions into that portal.
Okay, and then also when it comes to challenges, like I'm sure that there's been some issues that come that you didn't anticipate. Has there been anything that when you went in going in that there's been like this has been a real challenge that we didn't expect when we were going down this road by putting that stuff up on your website and getting businesses and the community involved?
Yeah, so if you look at the website, a couple areas of it are more clean and succinct than others. If you look at the industries tab and the companies tab, but when you get down into the careers, it's been a little bit of a work to figure out how to consolidate some of those career titles that are really similar but slightly different. So, that's one of the areas that we're trying to navigate right now. And also, with with small businesses, it does take some of their time. It takes a commitment, and so that's always a challenge. And when you have a business that's fully motivated to go forward, we're able to do that and get it done for them. But for some, it takes multiple contacts, and as you know, with anything.
So let's point people back. If they want to check out that work, the work that you're doing, where should they go? What should they check out?
Yeah, the website again is socalworkforce.org.
All right, perfect. Well, Scott, is there anything else you want to share when it comes to this and how chambers might be able to look at a new revenue generating opportunity?
What I'd like to share, I mean, I think the biggest thing that I've learned out of this is when you're talking about something that impacts you regionally, and it's been in the areas of advocacy and workforce development. I find it's much better to find partnerships with your local chambers than to try to do something alone that maybe your neighboring chamber is also trying to do alone. So there's great synergy in doing these types of projects together. And again, not only the workforce development but the advocacy part of it. It widens the voice and increases what we're it improves what we're able to do rather than what we can do on our own.
Very well said. Well, Scott, thank you very much for chatting with me and sharing those insights with others. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon.
All right. Thanks, Eb.